Peace to all of the kings and queens that's out there. This is your brother, the 13th letter to the cipher, and we are back today, tonight, this evening. And today's mathematics is understanding born knowledge. Understanding born knowledge is the mathematics of today. So if you don't know what I'm saying, well, maybe you should do some homework and understand that today's mathematics is understanding born, what you say? Knowledge. Yes. And if this is your first time watching the Mo Show, I want to tip my hat to you and thank you for watching the Mo Show. Tune in for some very pertinent information. May be for you, may not be for you, but you may know somebody that it is for, and maybe you can pass it along to them, okay? Other than that, you all, I am having a fantastic night. It is cold as fuck, as we all know, okay? Mother Nature has cut off her, yeah, the water is off. Nothing is growing. Everything is freezing, okay? And I just got back from doing a couple of things, and I wanted to get online just to stay fresh out here. I've been doing some things, reading, of course, this and that. However, I just wanted to drop a couple of things on you in regards to you as being a black man. Don't ever call yourself boy. Call yourself a man, as other beings on this earth, whom I, over the age of 16, call themselves men, not boys. Get out of that slave mentality. And many of us, excuse me, and many of us still have this slave mentality because we still have a white Jesus on the wall, a white dude that's supposed to be your savior. And if you are a black man, please, or if you are a black woman, please, by all means, take the pale face guy off your wall and place yourself in your proper seat, because you are your own saviors. We are our own saviors. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to save you. In fact, for all of the Bible thumpers and the Christians that's out there, according to the book of Ezekiel, it says that so-called Jehovah sent word or spoke to Joseph. In fact, excuse me, not Joseph, but Ezekiel. The Lord himself, Jehovah, spoke to Ezekiel saying that I send you saviors, plural, plural, not singular, but plural. And all of these saviors that come about is from us as people, as stars burst in the universe. So we too explode into a higher realm of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding and thinking that we can apply to ourselves so that we can help motivate and build ourselves. But unfortunately, we're not doing that because we got some jerk on the wall versus having yourself on that wall, having someone that looks like yourself on that wall. I'm just saying, if you think that someone else is coming to save you, you are absolutely wrong. And even if they did, or if someone was coming to save you, black folk, white-minded, European way of thinking, European dress style, lifestyle, what have you. However, there's no one coming to save you. Even in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24, verse 16, it says what? According to the Bible thumpers and you Christian people, those of you who go with the Sun book, and yes, the Bible is a Sun book. If you don't understand how the Bible is a Sun book, well, go back to prior videos and it's somewhere down there. It's a while back. Okay, but the Bible is a Sun book. And even according to that book, King James Version, by the way, Deuteronomy chapter 24, verse 16, it says that mother shall not be put to death for No, it says that the mother and the father should not be put to death for the children, and the children not the father nor the mother, but every man must die according to their own sin. Therefore, if every man die according to their own sin, they can only be their own saviors. I'm just saying. Okay, so now that we got that out the way, okay, so start representing yourself. Um, Motivate your mind. Get around people who are like-minded like you, who are in the realm of evolving into a higher level of thinking and progressing so that we can elevate. That's right, so that we can elevate, because as of next month in Chicago, weed goes legal. Now, with this weed thing, people think that they're going to be walking around outside just blowing. Like right now, they doing it now outside blowing. But when this law takes effect, they are still able to citation you as long as you are in public view. Now, however, Mayor Lightfoot uh, disagreed with that and said that that's not what that means, because the police can still fuck with you, because they say that you should be around a fenced area that no one can view, okay, and or inside, where you can be in your backyard or you can be on your front porch as long as there's no public view of what you're doing, or in your home. No, that means that clause right there, or that perspective or way of thinking, is another way for them to fuck with all black people, even though they made it legal. Because how many black people do you know have enclosed backyards, enclosed front porches? No, no, out of public eyes view. But according to the Mayor Lightfoot, she said, no, that's not what that meant. You are able to smoke on your porches. You are able to smoke in your backyard, on your private property. They are trying to implement something that's not implemented, whereas you're on your private property and they can still come and citation you for that which they just made legal. Now, ironically, as I stated before, amazingly, you have all of these big entertainers and Caucasians who have legal weed businesses throughout America. Okay. Now, the average person whom the state has legalized this use for, they can't afford the cost of the business. So therefore, it is time for you all to really get it together. To get it together, this is a way for you to make some legal money, and you're actually helping people medically. You're actually helping people medically, and it's better than cigarettes, I tell you that. If you promote cigarettes, which will actually kill you, and it says that on the label, it will cause lung cancer and problems with pregnancy if you are about to have a baby or something to that effect. So they promote that all day, but they can't promote something that is beneficial for you health-wise. I mean, it does a whole lot for arthritis, rheumatism, autism, glaucoma, uh, even high blood pressure. Yeah, even high blood pressure. And it helps you sleep if people have insomnia. And I'm quite sure there's other more benefits from it, but those are just a few, just, right off the top of my head. But be aware that they are trying to once again refill those cells in Cook County Jail and throughout Illinois, whom they let out because of weed charges. Now they're trying to implement laws or rules or things that you need to abide by, okay? Any way that they can get some money out you. Any way that they get some money out you. And like I said, they making money off of it, but yet still lock people up for it. But they had to release them. But now they found another way to lock you right back up. So to be aware is to be alive. So don't be walking down the street and you see a cop and you just blow one. No, they really gonna fuck with you then. And if you got a warrant, please do not, by all means, drive anywhere where you travel to. If you have a warrant, do not be driving anywhere. Stay where you are. Most people who have warrants get caught up driving. If they're on a bus, they safe. If they're taking a taxi, they're safe. As long as they're not driving, if you had a warrant, please do not be driving a vehicle. The law is out to get you. Period. In every state. In every state. Now you must remember, laws have changed and things are not the same as it is in other states. So if you're traveling to another state, make sure, and you plan to stay there for a minute, make sure you understand, if you got common sense, great. But most people don't have common sense. So if you're not one of those people who have common sense, well, make sure you find out about the laws of that state either before you get there or while you're there. Okay. Schools. What's up with the schooling? What's up with the schooling? In fact, let me revert to something. The Savior thing. Black people here throughout the world are the originators of this place that we call Earth, Gea, Pangea, Asia. Yes, some people call it the planet Asia. However, many schools of thought, especially those of the mystery Egyptian system, talk about how we came from that star. Now, I'm not saying where we're from, or I'm not getting off into that, but I know that Black people are the first people here. Even Louis Leakey, the white boy, confirmed that. Okay? No one is coming to save us. I want to revert back to that because that is very important moving into 2020, because there are more laws that are being institutionalized for your very demise, and many of us don't even know. So please, by all means, go to the Freedom of Information Act and find out some of those laws and presidential executive orders that Mr. Trump has signed, just like Barack Obama had signed an executive order to place you back in slavery. He did. Look under, I think it's executive order 31809 or 36109. Just go up under Obama's executive orders and you will see how he made it law that this can be done by the government of America to its citizens. Think about that. Think about that. But once again, think about how important you are to yourself, to your children. Our future is looking very, very bleak. So sit yourself on that wall. Take down whoever you got on the wall if it don't represent you and the struggle of Black people here in America. You need to put somebody on that wall that represents you and represents the struggle for Black people. Because everybody else has a portrait of someone on that wall that represents them and their struggle. So stop being silly. Stop being silly. Stop being silly thinking that a savior is going to come from you when they erase the Black man from the book as being God and made the God invisible, just so that you, Black man, won't know who they're talking about. You are the spirit. You were here before Jesus. In fact, speaking of Jesus, check this out. In fact, speaking of Jesus, you all say he was here 2,000 years ago. How could his name have been Jesus 2,000 years ago when the letter J has only been in effect for maybe only 600 years? I'm just saying. Like I said, Jesus Christ, according to the Bible freaks and the slavery school of thought 2,000 years ago, how could Jesus be named Jesus back then with the letter J if the letter J has only been in existence for only 600 years or so? You think about that. Okay? Back to the school shootings. School shootings is gone bananas. Every time you turn on the news, it's something about school shootings. And unfortunately, there was some more shootings in the state of Wisconsin. 2 shootings and 2 kids, teenagers committing suicide. It has become so bad in this place that we call Earth that some, rightfully so, is heaven if you understand the perspective. But it's so much hell in heaven. It's so much hell in heaven that not only as it's stated in, I think, the Muslims book, the Quran, it speaks about how the children's hair would be gray. Well, we're beyond the children's hair becoming gray because of the society. They have become suicidal, actually killing themselves. But you still want to vote. You still want to be a part of this systematic system, even education, because, and I say education because education is what you put into your mind or how you think or how you've been reared, right? And it gives you your perspective on life if you haven't been anywhere. But if you've been places in the world, you have a broader view of an understanding of people. And all people are not the same everywhere you go. I've traveled all over the world and people are not the same everywhere you go. I'm just saying. Yeah, it's gotten so bad. It's gotten so bad. What type of society do we live in? What type of society are we to expect within the next 3 years, within the next 2 years, if teenagers are killing themselves? You even had one kid who just the other day, yesterday, laid on the railroad tracks and the train just ran over him while he had a bunch of spectators of his classmates, students that went to school with him, his colleagues, his classmates. They seen the little kid get fucking ran over by the train because he couldn't deal with society. Teenagers hanging themselves, ODing. But we tell them that they are the future. Well, if they are the future, look, it's a hell of a thing for them to be able to deal with that which is coming. We haven't prepared them mentally. And I'm talking about young black men. Look at us. Look at us. Where do you see yourself, young black man, in 5 years? Some young black men don't even think that they will see it to 25. So they go all out before they're 25, not realizing that it don't have to be that way. But they see it being done that way through TV, through videos, through music. Be careful what you say. And we should be able to hold the artists responsible for that which they influence upon the minds of young black men and young black women. But you all don't want to do that. You still support their music. If you stop supporting their music, they'll change the music. If you stop supporting their music, they will change the music. They will change it. I'm just saying. What else we got here? Racist gang members. Racist gang members. Now, what do I mean by racist gang members? I'm talking about the Chicago Police Department. Many of the Chicago policemen are racist gang members. I'm just saying. And they can kill you, as they've shown us time and time again, and get away with it. But that still doesn't wake you up. I remember back a couple of years ago, I wanted to, let me get some water. I remember back when I used to think about the 60s, and let me say something in the chat room too. Let me say something here. What up, fam? What up, fam? Most Shore in the Kingdom. All right. Yeah, I wonder what it was like back in the 60s and what it was like, what it would have been like standing with the Panthers, what it would have been like standing with the nation. Those experiences I have experienced for a very long time. But the other I didn't. I never even experienced the unity that they had throughout my lifetime, that what they had back in the mid 60s. And I'm a 60s baby, but I'm just a late 60s baby. I wasn't born before 65, but I was born in the 60s. And I never seen that unity that was among Black people at that time in my era of living. And if you're not aware, this is the perfect time for that to reoccur, because that which is about to be placed upon us is going to be absolutely necessary for you to be unified, for you to stop killing each other, for you to stop encouraging this bad music by buying it and playing it among the ears of those who are younger than you. Listen to what they're saying. They have no originality, no respect, no, I'm not saying all of them, but a great majority of them. Okay, like Gucci Mane, and who's that other dude that just got caught up with the NFL player, went to jail. Can't think of his name right now, but you all know who I'm talking about. Lil Durk and whoever else, the new school garbage. The new school garbage, not the new school music, the new school garbage that we continue to allow our brains to be consumed with. And this will continue to further our non-development. Not just as a people, because we're so far from being a people, it's ridiculous. I'm talking about from self. Unbelievable. But getting back to the gang racist members, the Chicago Police Department, many of the Chicago policemen are gang members who are of a racist mob. And when they bring out this new law with this legalization, trust me, it's going to be some drama. However, this Mayor Lightfoot, which they call other names, okay, during the teacher strike, said that's not the case. She actually made a statement that the police should be proactive versus reactive. We'll see how that goes. Now, you must remember that they're also working to legalize psychedelic mushrooms on top of this legalization of marijuana. And when that occurs, you're going to have zombies. Same as with Colorado, same as with Oakland, same will be in Chicago. I'm telling you, New York City is already bad. Memphis is already bad. They actually smoking weed with heroin. Shit is unbelievable, man. Weed on heroin. Not to mention they got the lean in the can in the fucking Arab store. Or you can go and get you some Skittles and mix it up with the what they call that, the sweet, what brand? Any flavorful brand. It can be Crush, strawberry, or strawberry, or grape or orange, and they mix it with the Skittles and shit and get all fucked up. This is the society that we're living in. Every video game you see has got something dealing with destruction, capturing some shit. And if it's not capturing something, someone is trying to kill you, which is really how life is. It's like you're just being programmed for death. We are being programmed for death. Literally, we are being programmed for death. Many of us don't see it that way. Go out. You only got one life to live. Live it up. I'm with that. But don't consistently program yourself for death. How many of you actually take some time out to just read? How many actually take out to bowl or roller skate, or to just sit and read a good book, or just have some peace with no noise for 30 minutes in your own home, in your own confinement, without being confined? I'm just saying. Try that sometime if you haven't tried it. I promise you, you'll be able to see some results. Okay? You got the Zantec thing going. Oh, the Chicago racist police. I'm going to stay on that. I'm going to stay on that because it is absolutely necessary to stay on that. These people are out to kill you. The very same people who are to so-called serve and protect you are to kill you to your demise, so you're never to return, never to resurrect, slam you in the goddamn slammer, maxed out, dead, junked out, junkie, dope fiend, or you just plain die, or from black on black violence. This is what we're up against, but we can't unify. Sad. Sad. And it really doesn't take many of us. It just takes a small, dedicated few. And if I'm lying, well, for you Bible thumpers out there, or you Quran thumpers out there, or you more science thumpers out there, or you Jews, Hindu, or whatever your ism is, it don't matter, because it's all garbage. It's all garbage. I'm just saying. But the racist gang members, they are to their job is to destroy you legally. They're no different than the slave overseer. Police officer, slave overseer, officer, slave officer, Mr. Officer, whatever city, state you're in. Now, I know that there are probably some good cops. Probably is. But the bad cops make it bad for all of you all, and that's how they see us. They don't want to look at, they want to look at us that way, but we can't look at them that way. And sadly, I saw this disturbing video of these three black men. One had a cone, an orange construction cone, and he just smacked the brother with the cone, and the other guy that was with him start giving him the business. They just beating the man up on a corner in front of a storefront. People go in the store to get away from the fight. Okay, they don't want to see it. Then some other cat runs up from nowhere into the camera and started, kicking ass with the other two dudes. Poor guy. Those three guys are some chumps. 3 guys on one dude. For what? For what? And this is what you place on TV, but you don't do this when the police do this to you. You don't do this when you don't do this to the police when the police kill you or about to kill you or about to fuck with you. You don't do that shit. But soon as another brother may accidentally get out of pocket, or you may feel that he got out of pocket, or you just may be on some dumb shit that night and you want to fuck with a brother, but you won't go fuck with them white people who got their foot on your neck. And I'm not talking about the everyday Joe white people. I'm not even talking about them people. I'm talking about people who make the laws. I'm talking about those white people, the white people who jail your ass in that jailhouse over there, whether it be the 13th precinct, the 15th precinct, the 23rd precinct. It don't matter whatever precinct it is. And if it's a black police officer, police slave overseer arresting you, he's white too. Depending upon what you did. Some people need to go to jail, like murderers and rapists and all of that shit. But just for nonsense, no. And most of it be nonsense, but we allow ourselves to be caught up in that because we don't evolve our thinking, or we don't learn from our mistakes. And until we continue to learn, if we don't learn from our mistakes, we will never grow. We will never prosper. We will never evolve to that realm of understanding, knowledge, where we're supposed to be at mentally. We'll never get there. So remember that. And like I said, today, mathematics is understanding born knowledge. Understanding born knowledge. Zantec users, stop taking Zantecs. It has been reported that the doses that's in Zantecs are 20 times higher than what is approved by the FDA. So if you know somebody taking Zantecs, get your lawsuit in, get some money on, what have you. By rights, you should. Pharmaceutical companies, at one time, many people look to save them with the medications, but they're actually killing you. Killing you. And they kill us faster for a lot of reasons, especially if you're a working class, so that you don't collect any Social Security. And they selling you all of these cigarettes that's full of ammonia, household cleaning product shit. Yeah, I'm guilty too. I'm guilty too. See how dumb we are, but we say I'm just saying. So to be aware is to be alive, you all. Don't drink and drive. Stay away from the popo. Don't smoke weed in your car while you drive. By all means, don't smoke weed in your car while you're driving. And have some love, peace, and truth for yourself. I want to thank you all for watching the MOSHOW, one of the #1 informative information shows in the MIDWEST. It's the 13th letter to the cipher.